What's up, YouTube fam? Back again for more. Jeez, you gluttons for punishment, you. This week we're doing painting, and more fucking painting. However, we finished the painting on the Skoal. It's looking alright, bar one little run in the tailpiece, which we can live with. And I've started painting the 600 Bandit as well. Don't worry, the channel's not going to be completely painting for the next 15 bloody videos. You'll be glad to hear there is going to be some other stuff that we'll be doing later along the line. In fact, this will possibly be the last painting one for a little while. I'm waiting for some decals from a 600. Don't know whether I'll bother filming it or not. Anyway, so buckle up, grab yourself a cuppa, sit yourself down, relax and enjoy the video. Okay? Pow! We're back. Back with the Bandit 600. As you probably would have expected, I couldn't keep my hands off it. And now it's stripped. So, there's what we've got holding it together. Selection of rusty old bolts and shite. The tank was held down by one rubber. And that. Great. Looking under the tanks, no horrors, thankfully. Just a bit of corrosion here and there, you know. So I've taken the tank off, obviously. The petrol in it is absolutely stinking. I haven't had a look in the filter box yet. But I took the fairing out, so I wanted to look at this wiring, see what the hell was going on. And as I suspected, what's happened with the headlight, somebody's changed this plug. But instead of soldering it or putting a 3-pin connector on it, they've done this. And this, as I found it, I haven't taken any tape off or anything. So it's basically live to live, no insulation required, bit of yellow tape around the neutral by the looks of it. That's about it. And I wondered why they taped up these, yeah? Let me show you. Because I've already taken off the other side to see. I mean, you wouldn't believe this unless I actually videoed it for your pleasure, shall we say. We'll say pleasure, we don't fucking mean it. So yeah, as you can see, bit of yellow insulating tape. And the reason for that is because obviously they've used this cheap shit fucking red connectors that are fucking horrible that I hate. And they've used the tape to hold the other half of the bullet in there. You ever seen anything as rough as that in your life? And this is this guy supposedly fully rebuilt this bike. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't let him fucking fully rebuild my lawnmower. In fact, I wouldn't let him fully rebuild a fucking slice of toast. Because that is fucking shocking. So is that. To be honest with you, that is fucking shocking. These Scotch block things or whatever, snap connectors, whatever you want to call them, they shouldn't be anywhere in a fucking bike. Never. Shouldn't be anywhere. Not sure what this orange is for. I'll have to do a bit of investigation. It's possibly his side lights, I'm not sure, but he's... I'm not sure what it is. That's a bit of a fuck up. Oh no, the side lights are there. He's done the same with them, look. Just twisted the wires together and thrown a bit of tape at it. What a fucking cowboy. But, I got the fairing off. Let's get yet more delights that we're awaiting. I've no idea what these things are for. It's like reflectors or something. I doubt they're standard. But anyway. Not only that, there's bits of tape holding it together. Look. See that there? It looks to me like sellotape underneath the paint. There's another bit on the other side. Where is it? There. And the other half of the fairings get the same shit on it. God, you do wonder about people, eh? It actually infuriates me, this shit. I'm honest. You know, it really does fucking infuriate me. You think, why don't you just fucking do it right? You know, it doesn't take any longer. Is it this one that's got tape on it? Or is this one tape free? Oh my goodness, I think it's tape free, but the finish is rough as fuck. It's also got a reflector on there. I don't know. I have no idea what that's all about. Screen's off. If you look at that to the sun, it's needing a bit of a polish, I'd say. Should be salvageable though, to be honest. So today, what I'm going to do is, I've sussed out the back brake's actually free, even though it looks like it's come off the Titanic. But the fronts are seized, so I'll take the front calipers off today, strip them down, see what I need and order it up, if it's seals or whatever. And I also need to order a fork seal for that side. I'm going to try and do it without stripping the forks. It's a bit of a cowboy method, but it works. Just put a screw down through the side and then pull it up, you know, save splitting the forks in two. I'll maybe try that, we'll see how confident I feel, but first things first, I need to sort out the wiring and get these, the best thing to do with these indicators here, right, these Chinese things, is to keep them in a safe place, right? So, oh fuck, I seem to have accidentally fucking stood on it. Dear me, haven't I naughty? Oh, look out, what's this? Oh dear, my hammer accidentally fell on it. What a shame, never mind. I'll have to get some decent ones now. Right, I've no idea what this is for. Any ideas? It looks a bit random to me. It looks like there should be something attached to it. What, I don't know. Anybody get any ideas? Let me know in the comments. And obviously I'll have to strip the carbs at some point. I'm not doing that today. No, I'm not doing that today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brake calipers off and strip them down. I found some more bodgery. Another fucking shitconnector.com. I don't even know what that wire's for, but I'll have a look in the manual and see. Green to yellow to... Alright. It's going to that. Really, is it? We'll find out in a bit. It's also got an aftermarket flasher on it by the looks of it. But that's not a surprise. I mean, the thing's had 13 owners. Unlucky for some. I just hope it's not unlucky for me. But yeah, that's part one of this crap box. Like I say, I'll probably do some filming of me stripping the calipers down, but what I really want to do is to strip all that paint off and primer it, just so I don't have to look at it, because it's so fucking hideous. But that can wait. But I mean, it's a nice day today, you know. Sun shining, blue skies, and we're into September. Happy days. I found this thing just fucking hanging. Well, it's just a bit of zip tie. Yeah, we should all have one of them stuck in the back of the frame, shouldn't we? I'm going to try and get this hugger off today if I can, but these bolts look pretty fucking crusty. And the other side, it looks like somebody's tried to... It's actually started to drill it out. Oh my god. Look at the fucking state of that. So I think that's going to have to be a drill job. Yes, indeed. But we'll get it out. And I can get that fucking jalopy off. It's not even a nice design. It's fucking hideous. Side panel lug decided not to come off with the panel because clearly the fucking sellotape or super glue, whatever the fuck he'd used, didn't work. But we'll keep it. I can fix them back properly. Oh, aren't I fucking clever? Paint the frame doesn't look any better once the stuff's off, to be honest. I really don't want to strip it though. I really don't want to fucking strip it. I'm going to end up stripping it, aren't I? Part one in making silk purses out of sow's ears. We're going to give this a big degrease. Look at the fucking state of it. However, I'll stick that in there. We've got the agitator brush. We've got some degreaser in there that'll sort it out. I'm going to rub this down, see if it's salvageable. It's already been welded, repaired before. Not that side, that side. So I don't know if it's worth keeping or not. It's also pretty rotten. So we'll see. But we'll get these monkey beasts in. See if we can get all the brake fluid and all the fucking grime off them. And then we'll go for the strip. Right, we're taking the tank down. because I can't stand the fucking sight of it. And this is what I use. It's a poly disc. Yeah, really good for taking off paint. Takes a while, like, but don't hold it in one place for too long because it'll heat up your metal. It could cause issues, so make sure you move it around quite a bit because your metal will heat up with it. But I'll have this done probably in about another hour or two, hour and a half maybe. But it's cheaper than paint stripper. There you go, just doubled the resale value of it. I cleaned the seat up as well, that's just dust off the tank. Jeff and a scrubbing brush, and then a multi-surface wipe to clean it down with. So tank's back to the metal. I need to do the mudguard, need to do all the rest of the plastics, but it's a start and I don't have to look at it anymore and it won't annoy me, so happy days. I'm going to leave this 24 hours and then I'll clear coat it. I just want it all to off gas, you know, properly dry before I clear it, and it'll look wicked. I'm really pleased with it, to be honest. I like the colours. I really like this lime green. I like all of it really, to be honest. But I think I've got the gradients pretty well spot on, like, if I say so myself. So we'll clear coat this tomorrow if we get a decent day, and then we'll get some decals ordered up today. Right, so we're rebuilding these. I'm just taking this video basically to see where this clip sits. That silver one there, because it's the kind of thing I'd forget, you know. I've taken the pin out, it was tightened to friggin' death, I think. I think it was about 3,000 foot-pounds or thereabouts, but nice fat pads in it, that's good. Bit of rust in the back. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, the pistons will come out and get a look and a clean. So we're straight back in with the 600. It's lasted 2 days. I promised that I wasn't going to modify it. I was just going to put it back together and run it. However, this hideous colour did my brains in, so we've decided to respray it. I've already primed the tank. As you can see, it needed a bit of filler on the other side. Let me just show you. Down there. So that'll get another dose of primer today, along with all these other parts. So what I've done is I've sanded it down. I used roughly those and an 80 to get rid of all the decals. Then I went up to 240. I went up to 120, 240, 320, and that should be good enough for primer. There are still a few marks in it. I'm hoping the primer will get rid of it. If you look, you can't really see them, so that means it should be okay, yeah. But what I always do is I get a bit of red Scotch Brite once I've sanded it, right? And I use it to get into all these little bits here, because your sandpaper won't do it properly, yeah? So just use a bit of red Scotch and just get it stuck right in there, and you'll see that the paint's matting up, which means it's good to go. This is another bit I've done. You can see there's still a bit of shine on some of these parts. So the red Scotch will get rid of it. It's great stuff. Like I say, just before you prime it, give everything a scrub with this. It's also handy for getting into like these bits here. Your sandpaper won't do that. And all the corners and bits and pieces like that. So red Scotch Brite, it's the answer. There's one that I haven't done. You can see there's still like bits on it. But I spent last night sanding all this stuff down. What a great way to spend your evenings, eh? Anyway, priming next. Let's go. Right, that's all the Bandit 6 stuff primed, including the tank. I've got another coat to go in the tank because I filled that part in there. You won't be able to see it obviously because I did such a fantastic job of it. So it's quite a mess, some of these panels. They're going to need a fair bit of filling. See? There's loads of crazy cracks on them. So I'll have to fill all that up and prime them again. So that's today's entertainment. This one's going white with some colour that I may have in the garage. I don't know what it'll be yet, but I've got plenty of white, so I'll be putting white base on it. Right, I said these panels were rough. The state of that. Ooh-cha. More crazy than my ex. So we'll have to sand all this down, fill it, and prime it again. But I always knew that was part of the process, you know. There's also like bits here. I don't know if that'll pick up or not. Should do. Quite a few bits, but never mind. The tank's okay now. It's filled and second primed, but this is just the first coat on these. I just basically give it this coat so as it shows up everything that I need to fill and sand and all the rest of it. There's also some crazy bits in there. Wow. So that needs some filler. Let's get on to it. That's the second coat of clear on, and if you look at it, look at the edges of these reflections, they're all lumpy and bumpy. That's due to the metal flake that I mixed in with the candy. So I guess what you gain by mixing it with the candy compared to putting it down separately, you lose when it comes to clear coating. So that'll all have to be sanded back once it's got another coat, obviously, and then I'll have to clear it again. I'll give it a flow coat, but quite happy with how it's looking. Apart from that little bit there, it fucking annoys me. Never mind. Yeah, this one's slightly less lumpy and bumpy, I guess, but still the same. It'll still need sanded. So we'll give it another coat in half an hour or so. Then we'll leave it. Then we'll sand it. And you won't be able to see it, but the flake fades out a bit here along the bottom. So I'm not worried about that though. Nothing's ever perfect. I'm just waiting to give this a third coat, but I wanted to go over a quick couple items that you need to know on clear coating. I always hit my clear coat at just 2.2 bar on the gun, 2 turns out to 2.5 turns out, depending how much coverage I want. This will be nearer 2.5 turns because I want a thicker coat, if you like. When you come to spray it, always test spray on your board or whatever it is. Always do your edges first. So likes of this, you'd be coming in at an angle underneath to get this 90-degree part here done first, and then go right the way around the tank so you're not missing bits and you know what you've done. Doing all the bottoms, doing all the edges, okay. Then start in the fuel cap, put a few sprays in there just to cover it. Then from there, what I would do is, I would start from this bottom here, and I'd be going across the way, like so, in a number of passes, and I'd go right the way around the side of the tank like that, yeah, divide it into sections, and then I'd go down the middle, like that, keep them down the middle to the other side. Then you get to the other side, start from where you stopped, and then just go down the panel, same as the, just basically continue on until you get to the bottom. Okay, like I said, these are simple enough. Edges first, underneath the edges, fronts and backs, and then this one would probably just require about maybe 3 or 4 passes. Your first pass would be here, so that you're getting a good coat in this. Like that would be my fan pattern, would be like that. Then the second pass would be aiming for this green stripe for the middle of your fan. Third pass would probably be aiming for the centre of the mudguard. Fourth pass, fifth pass, yeah. Likes of this, again, round all the edges, including the front edges and up up as well as you can do. And then I would basically just start from the bottom. One, probably two, probably three, probably four, and then so on down the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a third coat, and then I'll leave it to harden for at least 24 hours, sand it down. I'm just about to order my decals for it, and once they arrive I'll put the decals on, and then I'll clear coat over the whole lot again. Right, that's 3 coats on it, 3 fairly heavy coats. You can see it's still a bit bobbly in the edges, but there'll be plenty of coverage there. Plenty of coverage there to sand it back. This one's a bit better. You can actually see the reflection of the roof, the side of the building. You know, it's a bit straighter than it was. That one there, a bit lumpy and bumpy as well, but like I say, we'll sand it back once it's dried. A good 24 hours. It's a beautiful day again in the Highland Wasteland. Ooh-ha, blue skies. Alright, I've given it one coat, and then what I've done, of the primer, should I say, primer filler, 4:1 MIPA, and it's high build stuff. I gave it one coat, and then I just gave it a quick scuff with one of these, red Scotch-Brite, just to knock any high spots off. Give it a quick check, it's looking alright. So I'll give it another coat. I'll leave that to dry, because that was quite a heavy coat I put on at that time, because the last time I was going to put 2 coats on, so I stuck a coat on, and then my son came home, so I kind of forgot all about it, and then I had to go back out and clean the gun out about an hour later. So I never recoated it within the time scale. You know, I could have probably coated it after an hour, but I was in the middle of making tea. Anyway, I'm digressing. That's it primed. It's looking alright. I had to fill masses on these panels. They were all crazed and cracked and all sorts. There's some lugs missing, but I've got some mech coming to fix them. So that's the fairing panels, middle one, side panels. And the tank, unfortunately, has a little, where is it? You see that? There somewhere. Probably won't pick up. I don't know what it was. I think it was a bit of shit came out of my gun or something, but I'll be sanding these with 600 and then I'll be painting them, and I'll be doing that today. I want to get this done. I don't want to be waiting about for weeks, and I don't want to turn into a bloody epic like the green one did. Missed the bloody 3 attempts to get it right. So this one's going to go a base coat of white, and after that I'm going to stick a candy colour on. It might be blue actually, or I might do some crystal on it, I'll see. But it's getting done today. Right, well, we've got one coat of the candy white on. It's looking pretty good. I've been ladling it on, to be honest. I had the fluid wide open on this one. That was my fault, I just forgot to bloody check it. Never mind, but it went on well, and it covered well for one coat. I'll get another coat or two. Maybe another one, because I put such a lot on the first time. I mixed up, what did I mix up? About 250ml, and I've mixed up another 80, so that's 330, so 250 and 330, that's flipping near half a litre. That should more than be enough. But it's got the fairing as well. I haven't got the mud guard, obviously. I need to go and order one from eBay. But yeah, it's looking alright. This is a start. This will be the base. It will be white, but it will have some candy in it as well, I think, or some other colour in it. I might not go candy, we'll see. Let's go and have a look and see what I've got in the magic flipping box of many bits of paint left over. See what we have in the paint stash today. We've got a few blacks, but not enough to do a whole car. That's a BMW Carbon Black. It's really nice. It's got a hint of blue in it. Don't know if it'll pick up. Slightly, just a hint of blue. The one below it's I think that is a black, for want of a better word. That one there is Mercedes Obsidian Black. Below that we've got a little bit of silver, probably not enough to paint it. In here we've got some candy red that I've mixed up about 5 years ago, but it'll still be fine. And in the tin we have, what's that one? Ooh, No idea. Oh, sorry, I do have an idea. It's BMW Alpine White. This is Volkswagen Golf Tornado Red. Not enough in there. Blue, there's not enough in there. That's the red candy concentrate. The same stuff, the expensive stuff. We've got a tiny bit of gold, not enough to do anything with that. I've also got this. This is a Volkswagen colour. It's like a dark blue. Possibly get enough in there to do the top half of it. This is a really nice colour. This is Audi Ara blue. I've painted that a few times before, and I think this is some more of it that I mixed up that I never used. It's got a bit of pearl in it, you know, it looks nice. So we've got that to choose from, plus the candies. And on the candy front we have the emerald green that I used on the Skoal. We also have the lime green that I used. Oh, sorry, that's the candy apple green. Well, it's not actually candy apple green. Candy apples, it's only candy apple if it goes in a gold base, apparently. And this is the lime green. I've also got a few inside. Let's go and have a look. Right, we're in the cupboard of candy. We have cobalt blue. You can just see it in the lid there. It's a nice colour, that. I might use that. We've got the tangerine that I used in my EFE. That's some more of it there. That's pre-mixed. And we've also got Caribbean blue candy concentrate. This is like a gold yellow, supposedly. If I hold it up to the light, you'll kind of see. No, you won't. But it is. It's like a. It's meant to be like a yellowy gold colour. And Ford red. What else have we got in here? Some hardener for epoxy. And some crystal clear coat. A few cups. And there's a helmet I did before. Matches my GSXR. I like it. It's like a metal flake, black, silver. I think it looks cool. It looks cool because it matches the bike. I'll show you the bike it matches since we're here. Matches this dusty GSXR. It's got about an inch of dust on it. And my helmet matches it, should I say. 1100M. This gets some holographic in it as well, you can probably make out there. A few other bits and pieces I've done. Slab side panels. This is my EFE that I did in that tangerine colour and white with a gold pinstripe. It turned out well. I was pretty happy with that, to be fair. Let's get a look at a side panel in the sun. It's covered in dust. But yeah, the crystal came out quite well with that, if I'm honest. About 3 attempts. I just came up with this random bit in the middle that was like brighter than everything else, so God knows why. Hey ho. And this is my harness that I did. It's also got the holographic. It's meant to be like a Mexican lowrider style, or that's what I thought at the time. This is one of the first bikes I painted. It's not that great, to be fair, because it needs more clear to bury it, because it was a big flake. But it'll do. I'm happy enough with it. I really regret putting this bit on it though, the 1340 lettering, but well, that's what paint's all about. You live and learn. And I also had a couple of runs in the flake. See if I can find one for you. They weren't very big runs, you know, it wasn't massive runs or anything. I'm sure there's one in one of these side panels. No, can't see it. Never mind, that means it's good. So that's a few other bits and pieces I've done. Old GSXR there, hasn't been out for bloody years. I need to do something about that. But the fork stanchions are corroded. So it either needs new forks or new stanchions. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get back to some painting. I'm going to fix that horrendous headlight wiring today, and this is what I'm going to use. It's a 4-pin connector. You get these from a company called Vehicle Wiring Products. I'm sure you've probably heard of them. And you'll get all the little parts that go with it. Spades, the male and the female connectors. I need to remind myself, I think the males go in this side. I'll have to have a look and see before I do it, because it's been that long since I did any. I don't want to fuck it up, because I've only got enough connectors and no more. So we'll go out and do that, the old Bandit 6, and it'll probably increase the resale value by at least 20 pence. I've just given the headlight a quick polish. Look at the state of that. That was pink when I started. That's just all the grot out of the headlights. I'm using this stuff. It's a polishing compound. It's quite abrasive, but as you can see, it's come out pretty well. I should have really taken a before picture, because it was absolutely fucking grotty. There is a small mark on it there. I don't know how that's... It must be underneath the lens or something. It must be glue or something, but it's not coming off. Believe you me, I've tried. I'm not sanding it all down to repolish it. I'm just giving it a quick polish. It's just a cheap bike. But yeah, it turned out alright. Quite happy with that. There's another bit there. You can see, I don't know what it is. It's not in the face, it's in the underside of the lens, you know. And I really don't want to be taking the bloody lens out to try and sort it. So we'll just live with it. That's the second coat on. It's looking alright. I shut down the... I didn't shut down, I flipping turned down the paint, the mixture, so that there's less paint coming out. Turned the screw in about half a turn. I don't know what's happening with this, it's not really focusing very well. But yeah, it's looking alright. I've got enough to give it another coat, so I'm just going to give it another coat. That'll be 3 coats, that's plenty. Two's actually plenty, if I'm honest, you know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that for a finish, I would say. You know, nothing wrong with that at all. But I'll give it another coat, and I'll make a point of getting into all these little vent bits that I didn't do the second coat. But we'll leave it to dry for half an hour, then we'll come back out and give it another bash. Oh, we're onto the fucking wiring shenanigans today. So I'm going to start by doing this is a side light for the headlight, and I've no idea why he's got it so long. I mean, look at that, that's about flipping 2 feet past where it needs to be. It needs to be back here somewhere. It actually plugs in a bit here, so he's got an extra 1.5 feet of wiring, which I'll cut back, and then we'll sort this shit show out as well. You know, you get a random orange wire here for fuck knows what. These people do my nutting, honest to God. And the old favourite fucking masking tape. This will just be twisted together like the rest of it, no doubt. So I will put my connector block onto these 3 here for the headlight. The white, the black and white, and the yellow. They will get connected to that red, blue and black. We won't need the Scotch block connectors. I mean, don't know why he put that in anyway, because he's just taped it like 2 inches further on, so what was the fucking point? I don't know, some people shouldn't be allowed near toolboxes, or bikes for that matter. But it's not the worst I've seen. I had a TL1000 and it was held together with the Scotch block connectors? Yeah, it's just cables. It was held by these Scotch block connectors, parcel tape, and a multitude of these fucking shitty things. So I'm going to use my 4-pin. I'll only be using 3 of them obviously, because there's only 3 cables, and we'll get this connected up and I'll come back and show you. But I mean, the headlight, how far past the headlight does it need to be? Can what I mean? So we'll chop that back to where it should be, which is probably around about here somewhere, you know, to go into the back of the headlight, probably where that connector block is. And we'll put some heat shrink on it as well, just to tidy it up, I think. Same with these ones, put some heat shrink in them. I'll go and turn that compressor off, and I'll crack on. Right, there we go. Bodge temporarily fixed. I just put a connector block on it. I mean, how hard was that? It took me about 20 minutes. Put a bit of heat shrink on there. Didn't put a bit on there, sue me. I'll stick a bit of tape or something around it just to hold the wires together. But there's not really a huge amount of room to put heat shrink on anyway, so. But yeah, the headlight cable's a bit more realistic once this shrinks back, and this will be enough to get underneath the bottom. I've still got the indicators to do. I'm just going to put single bullets on them, single bullet connectors. I'll take all this crappy wire off. There's a zip tie up here for some reason. I just zip tied it together, God knows why. There's maybe one on there, is there? Is that a zip tie there? No. But yeah, zip tie. These are going, like I say, but I'll do that after. I had to stop to get some painting done. So we'll get 3 coats on now. Third coat kind of turned to shit a little bit on the panels anyway, because I picked up some bits. It'll not show up probably on this, but let's just have a look. See if I can fucking try not to drop it. Yeah, and you see them bits? I mean, it's alright, it'll just be a scuff with a flipping scotch pad, but bloody annoying when the first 2 coats turn out to be pretty well, you know. But that's painting for you. It's a pretty frustrating game. I need to go and get some more thinners this afternoon. And what I'll do first is I'll do that indicators and that'll be a job done. And I'll check the back ones as well. I think they're pretty shit. They're the same deal with the red bloody connectors. I think I actually pulled them out and threw them away. So let's see what we got. Right. There's one. I need a connector for that. And I need a connector for that. But they might be still attached to the cables that I pulled. No. That'd be too fucking easy, wouldn't it? Hey ho. Right. I'll sort that out. I'll probably have to end up taking off the Suzuki connectors. These bad boys. And just, he's left me about an inch there. But somebody explained to me why he's put that under the fucking, between the back mudguard and the frame, where it's like squashed to death. And where there's plenty of room to stick it down the side here where my finger is. Why do people do shit like that? Is it just to annoy me, do you think? But yeah, you can't even move that back and forth, that's how tight it is. So I'll get that sorted later on as well. Never actually noticed that huge fucking white bit on it either. Well, that was a waste of a day. However, what I have learned is I'm going to use the cobalt blue, but just as a plain candy, and I'm going to use the other blue below it. The design will be similar. So, not a complete loss, but I mean, that just looks shit. That just looks shit as well, if I'm honest. These fairing panels, they just look dirty. You know what I mean? There's just too much black in them. Maybe if I'd had the right amount of urea to make the crystals actually grow, you know, there are bigger crystals on it, it might have turned out differently, but as it is, it's just far too dark and it just looks shit. So we'll start again tomorrow. You'll either go never mind the bollocks or all white with the 2 candies. Right, we're taking 2 on this paintwork after the crystals went tits up. We're going in a completely different direction, but it is going to be epic. Let me show you what we're looking at. Yellow, that's right, you're thinking, oh, yellow, that's a bit fucking gay. No, no, no. It's going to be this yellow. Whey! Who said punk was dead? Not me. So this is going to be the base. I'm waiting for a price back for decals. I'll have to remember and keep some for the mudguard because it's all a complete one-off with the candy white and the whatever the fuck that is. It's meant to be a gold, but it's not. It's yellow. Golden L Bell, whatever the fuck. But I've mixed that in with the white till I got a shade which is pretty damn close to that yellow there. So we're going to spray that base down. I'm just putting decals on top of it. It'll look fucking brilliant, trust me. Well, if you like punk, it'll look brilliant. If you don't, it'll look shit. Anyway, got the gun ready. Using the 1.4 here. Filter, strainer, cleaned out gun. Ready to go. Let's go. Kerpow. That's one coat on. It's not a bad colour. Match, I think. I'll go and get the album cover and have a look once it's drying a bit. It's going to be slightly dark, if anything, so I could maybe add some white into it. We'll see. See how like it looks after the end. I've got plenty of white anyway, so it's not a problem. I need to go and get a little jar, stick some of this mix, or whatever mix I end up with, into for the mudguard when it arrives from my good old mate Tony down in Cumbria. So we'll get that painted separately, but it'll match because it'll be the same amount of coats and it'll be the same settings in the gun and all the rest of all that good shit. And then, like I say, just wait for the decals to come. So a quick check of the album cover tells me this is way too yellow. It's too dark, so I'm going to lighten it up with some white. You know, that's me added some white to it. I don't know if it's enough. I don't think it is. Just looking at it, it doesn't look too different for that. So I'll put yet more white into it until it gets to a lighter shade. As with most things I do, this is take 3. This is the colour that I've just sprayed in the tank. It's too light, so I've darkened it up with the rest of this buttercup or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm kind of happier with that. The I'll just show you what it looks like. The one that I just coated, you'll see yourself. That's way too light. That's not punk, that's pish. That's way too dark. So the one I've mixed is halfway between the two. So what I'll do is I'll coat all this with it. That's the last mix. I'm not mixing any more. If it's not right, then that's just tough, because I've not got any more yellow to darken it any further. But this colour you got away with, I'd imagine. But I was just hoping for something a bit more yellow. The actual colour in the album is like a luminous fluorescent yellow, but I've not got any fluorescent paint, so we'll just have to make do with what we've got. And that's the new mix. It's quite it's pretty much in between the old and the new, the old and the lighter one, should I say, so that'll do fine. You know, it's yellow, but the bees will like it. So I'll leave that, give it another coat, and then we'll get some decals on it. Coat number 2. I've mixed up fucking loads of paint. I could do another complete body kit with this yellow, I've got that much of it. But hey ho, I'll give it another coat since I've got plenty of paint, and I'll wide open it. Well, I'll open up the fluid needle, get a good coat on it, good skin on it, and then the decals will slide effortlessly onto it. So, what do you think? Like it? Yes, I like it. So, I guess that's all that matters. Much better than the fucking burgundy, that's for sure. Hey. Right, we're back onto this. This has had about 3 days, I think, to dry. Outside, obviously, because it's been nice weather. And it's now as dry as it's going to... Well, it's not as dry as it's going to get, but it's fairly dry. However, if you look at it, you can see it's got quite a bit of peel on it. That's due to the flakes. So my next step is to sand them down flat, and then we will apply the decals, which landed today. These are the ones that are going, I'm having one in the seat, just in the middle, something like that. Yeah. I'll have a small one in the mudguard. I don't know where it is, it's probably in the envelope. And these ones are going in the tank. These are gold, which I'll highlight quite well with the green, I think. But these are going in the tank, in the scalloped parts of the tank. They will fit below the lines, because I measured that before I ordered them. And I got them from Imageworks. There's the little ones down there, look. That's the ones that's going in the mudguard. One at the front, one at the back. I don't want to splatter it with stickers, you know. I think the paint speaks for itself. So we'll stick them on once I've sanded it all, but I'm away to start sanding it now. I've got some 800 wet. If that's not going to take it off quick enough, I've also got some 600 wet because I went and bought some. And I'm just using the cheap Mirka stuff. That's the 800. That's the 600. Wet and dry. Works fine. Doesn't last as well as the 3M, but it's probably about, I don't know, 3/4 the price of 3M. But you get what you pay for. If you want decent sandpaper, get the 3M. That's my advice. So, sanding time is here again. Hurrah. And I need to get this as flat as possible. Not just the bit where the decal goes. The whole thing needs to be as flat as possible. Because what we're going to do is flow coat it, which is basically when you sand it down, you can still feel these lines. Yeah, you don't want to feel lines when you're finished. You can just feel them. To be honest, they're not too bad because I put 3 hefty coats on. But by the time it's sanded, these should be a lot lower. And then by the time I get another coat, the flow coat of clear, they should disappear. And also, if you flat it down as flat as you can get it, and then flow coat it, which is the other coat of clear coat that I'm talking about, it'll come out like glass. You'll be able to see your reflection. You can see your reflection there, but you know, it'll look even better. And the mudguard there is looking alright. That bit's still annoying me. Never mind, we'll live with it. I'll not see it much. So that's today's entertainment. I'm away to go sanding. Wish me luck. Alright, that's an hour and a half it's taken me to sand this, the tailpiece, and the front mudguard down. And as you can see, it's pretty damn smooth. You can see there's still, like, where the filler cap meets the tank, there's a couple of wee flipping indents there, but the rest of it's alright. You can see there's like some very, very minor details, but indents, but you know, if you put your finger over it, you can't feel anything. It's smooth as, and your next coat will fill those craters up, those tiny little craters up. But you want to get rid of as much as you can. The reason why I had to sand this was because this top green and the other 2 greens, when I painted them, I had the metal flake in with the paint instead of putting the metal flake base down in the intercoat, which I did as well, and then putting the candies on top. Because I made a balls up of the top colour with the decals last time, I had to improvise. So I black based this, and then I put the flake in with the paint, shall we say. And whilst I was doing the sides, I thought, well, because I put some flake in here, I might as well put some more of the green flake in these as well. So I did that. Now, when you sand it all down, you want, like I say, you want it to be smooth. What to do is to not go too daft. Get yourself 800 in the wet. That's what I used. It sanded it fine. But don't go too daft and like sand, or you'll go through the paint and then you're fucked. Okay, you don't want to take any paint off whatsoever. You just want to be sanding the clear coat. Okay, so stop every couple of minutes or so, you know, and you can actually feel it. I do this all by hand. You can actually feel through the sandpaper when it's getting smoother, believe it or not, because it like makes a certain noise and it also slides. You'll feel it sliding easier over the paintwork, okay? So when it gets to that point, stop, wipe it off. I just use an old cloth, one of these things, to wipe off the water, because obviously I do it wet, and then you can check it if you look towards your light source, which for here's the window outside. And like I say, there is 1 or 2 very minor flipping little indents in it, but we're not going to worry about that. The silver as well, like see, there's a couple there. I'm not going to worry about that. The next coat will cover that, you know, or if there is any bits that I do feel any concern about, all I'll do is I'll get some 800 out, wet, sand it until they disappear, you know. But I mean, I can't feel anything there with my finger. I can't feel like any rough surfaces, you know what I mean? So that means to me it's good enough. Now the next coat that goes on, it's called a flow coat. So what I'll do is I'll put my decals on, and how to do that is get yourself a decent light source before you place them on. Take lots and lots of measurements, use lots of markers like I mentioned earlier. You can even like string fine line tape, like say you wanted to string it for here, straight across the other side, and then stick your decal up to the edge of that, you know, and then string another one for here, all the way over to the other side. That way you'll make sure they're both exactly the same on both sides. So you can do that, and then you can tape them up. What you do is masking tape them. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last clip. Masking tape along the top, yeah. Stick it in place, and then what you do is fold the decal up, peel the back off, fold it back down, use an old credit card or something, and just make sure these are all tight to the tank. But before you do all that, once you've sanded it, wax and grease remover it, and let that dry. Well, what you do is use a couple of microfibers, one to put the wax and grease remover on, one to wipe off if there's any that hasn't evaporated, yeah? So wax and grease remover, decals on, and then we'll clear coat it. When you clear coat it, what to do is mix up your clear coat, obviously. Your sticker will be on by this point. And what to do, if you have a large sticker, it'll have a shiny surface, yeah? So use a bit of grey scotch, give it a light scuff, very light scuff. Don't go fucking sanding at it until you'll take the decal off. All I want to do is to give it a key, and then you clear it. Take one pass of your fluid turned in, so you're just putting a very light mist coating onto the decal. And what that'll do is that'll give the flow coat something to grip onto. So you do that, like I say, put a bit of tape, a bit of masking tape from underneath the side or somewhere that's not going to be seen. Maybe have it hanging out here, yeah, paper side out. And then when you spray it, you're just spraying the decal. You're not spraying the whole tank, yeah. You're just giving a light mist coat into that, and you'll get some on the tape, obviously, yeah, because you'll go straight across. And then how to check if it's ready for clear is to stick your finger in the tape and pull it. And if the clear coat is wet, it'll stay on the tape. If it's like starting to dry, it'll start to string out. That makes sense. When it starts to string out, that's when you want to hit it with the clear coat. Now, if the clear coat, I'll put it up to about 2.2 bar with my gun and about 2.5 turns out on the fluid needle. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm not trying to do like a half coat for a start and then a full coat. What I'm going to try to do with the flow coat is to give it one full coat all over, obviously, and leave it. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because generally, if you do a decent flow coat and you pull your fluid out, and you screw your fluid out so that you're putting a decent amount of clear coat on there, all your flow coat really is to do is to seal in these decals, right? You don't want to add any huge amount of build to this, but what it will do is it'll make this come up like glass because you've sanded it already to 800 and it's as flat can be. When you hit it with one coat of clear, you'll see it'll just come up like glass. So that's the purpose of the flow coat. Okay, hit it once and just leave it. Don't think, oh, that looks really good, I'll put another coat on. Don't do that because you'll just fuck it up. Just leave it with one coat. If one coat's covering that's looking like glass, once you've finished your first coat and your overlaps are all good, you know, for your spray patterns are all good, and then you're golden. Just leave it. Once it's good, just leave it. But before you start this as well, always set your gun up in a bit of masking paper on the side of the shed, or that's what I do, and then adjust your fluid, adjust your fan till you've got a 6-inch fan, 6 inches away from the wall, and you're putting on enough to cover like a oval shape with a quick spray, say a 1 second spray, like you'd go, psh, take it off. You should have enough coverage there. And if you check the edges of the part that you've, the clear coat, if you check the edges of it, you should see really fine atomized areas. Yeah, if you can see like spots at the sides and all that, you've got too much fluid there. You want to tone down your fluid a little bit until you get like a really fine atomized spray, but still enough to cover. And then flow coat it. Like I say, 2.2 bar. I'm about 2.5 turns out usually. I know that because I've done it a few times. And then, like I say, once you've done it and it's looking good, leave it. Walk away, don't touch it. And don't think, oh, I can improve this. You can't. You're already as improved as it's going to get. However, if you make a balls up of it, which is one of my specialities, what you can do is you can leave it dry, sand it, and then give it an airflow coat. Okay, right, I've babbled on enough about flow coats and clear coats and decals and all the rest of it, but we'll recommence when I start clearing it, which won't be today because it's 6 o'clock and it'll be too cold. You need decent weather, a decent amount of heat for clear as well. Or what you can do is you can preheat your clear. You can either put it in a bucket of warm water, or you can stick it in the microwave for like maybe 5 seconds or 4 seconds or something. You'll feel it. You want it to be about maybe 25 to 30 degrees maximum. Probably about 25, I would say, would be the best. And you'll notice that if you do that, when you pour it into the filter, it'll just go straight through because it's obviously thinned down, you know. And then when you use that to flow coat it, honestly, it'll come up like glass. It's great. You don't have to do that. You don't have to heat it up or anything like that. And sometimes it can cause more trouble than it benefits because you'll end up with runs because it's thin, you know, and you're putting fucking quite a bit on. So it's up to you if you do it or not. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't bother. I would just use it straight out the tin, you know. And then after that, we get on to the exciting phase of polishing it if you need to and denibbing it and what have you. I try to avoid this at all costs because I fucking hate polishing and I'm crap at it. So what I try to do is to get a good off the gun finish, and I generally just leave it at that because what's happened in the past is I've had good off the gun finishes and I've tried polishing them and it's ended up fucking worse than it was when it was just off the gun. So nowadays I try and get as good a finish as I can off the gun and then just leave it. Okay? Right. Peace. Another bit of advice is to put your decals, when you're putting your decals down, is to put them down, right? Stick a little bit of tape on. I just put the tapes on the side because it was curling up, yeah? And then leave it for half an hour, go away, do something else, and then come back and look at it again. And then when you're happy with the one side, all you need to do is duplicate it on the other side. But that's just a little tip. Don't just automatically go with, yeah, that looks fine, I'll just do that, yeah. Put them on, walk away, come back, have an hour look at it, even walk away, have another cup of tea or whatever, come back, have an hour look at it, and then if you're happy with the way it looks, or if you want to move it about or whatever, then stick it down. And when I stick it down, I'll use a bigger bit of tape than that, obviously, because I want it to be secure at the top so that it's not going to move up or on either plane, you know what I mean? It's going to be set at the top. And then, obviously, like I say, stick it up, peel it back, stick it back down, credit card, bish bash bosh, you're sorted. All right. Decal 101, right? I have pinged a centre line down. I put it right the way through, obviously measured it with the verniers at both ends, from the edge of the tape to the start of the line, edge of tape. Same here at the bottom, blah, 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 edge to edge. And then I decided where I was putting my decal, and I've cut the tape. I've also marked the decal in the centre line, that little pencil mark there. I did that by measuring from the outside of his helmet hat to the outside of his hat, and then splitting it in two. The hat's level with it's at 90 degrees if you like. So what I've done is I've stuck it down with the tape, put the tape down, folded it back, peeled the backing off, folded it back up again, and now we'll just remove this, if I can get it with my finger, and reveal the glory, he says. If I can bloody get it with my finger. Ooh, oh, it's not so easy with one hand as I thought it might be. Christ, I'm making right balls of this, aren't I? Ta-da! So there you go. That's how you apply decals, and that is perfectly centre. You can measure it from anywhere you like. And I'm thinking maybe I should have got a bigger one. However, that's what I got. That's what I'm going to live with. I've got two for the tank, one for the back of the filler, one for the front. I'll maybe just use one, we'll see. They're all the same size, 80mm wide. Like I say, I could probably go on a bit wider, but I didn't want to like fill the whole width of the panel with the decal, you know what I mean? I didn't want it coming away out to here or anything. So I wanted it quite subtle. So that's what I've got, I suppose. So I'll just pull this centre line off, if I can get it. Yes, indeed. So that's one down. I've done the mudguard as well. The same sort of styly. One at the front, perfectly centred. One at the back, perfectly centred. You can pretty much eyeball that at the sides to see that it's in centre. But yeah. So that's some of the decals on. Just get the tank ones to do. What do you think? Looks alright, eh? I quite like the gold. I think that'll look good. Just a couple of decals on the top. Obviously another Skoal over that side. Spot the deliberate mistake. That B folded on me. I'm just gonna live with it. I can't do anything about it, which is a bummer. In fact, it's a real pisser. It's pissed me off. But well, that's just the way it is. And if you start peeling these things off, it's just an absolute fucking nightmare. You'll never peel it up to put it back down, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't even bother trying. Okay. So this is the point where it all pays off. How's that for a finish? Not bad, eh? I'm happy with that. That's just one coat. As you can see, I've got a little run. Bollocks. Never noticed that. Or that one. Shite. Maybe I had it a bit too heavy, but you know, it's a little bit windy today, so I thought I'd increase the fluid a bit. Get some material on there. That one's pretty good as well. The tank is stunning, if I say so myself. You know, what's not to like? The graphics are looking good, apart from the B in that Bandit, but we'll now talk about that. And the rest of it looks pretty good as well. So that's it. I also clear coated some of these brake calipers and stuff. Is that good enough for you? The brake caliper? It's good enough for me. A couple of levers and foot peg brackets and stuff. So that's it. I'm putting the clear away. I'm not putting any more on it. But I might. No, I'm not going to bother doing that. I was going to try and blow off that run, but knowing my luck, it'll just turn to shit. You know? So that's fucking annoying though. I didn't even think I put that much on. Well, never mind. So that's how you see it. How's that? Fucking not bad, eh? Well, I'm happy with it. I tried to blow the run off. I've been partially successful, but you can still see it. I don't mean blow it off by what you might think. Bumped up the pressure in the spray gun, emptied it, and like blew the clear coat off the edge of the panel, or blew it down towards the edge of the panel, the high part of the run, but it's still there. Maybe not quite as noticeable as it was, so that's a little bonus. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with how this has turned out. There's always some disasters along the way, you know, likes of that front bit that I missed, and you know, bits like pieces like that, but overall I'm pretty chuffed with it. I think that's a decent finish. Look at the reflection, sharp edges in the reflection. I mean, you've done a decent enough job, and that was thanks to sanding it first of all, you know. So we'll take that for a win. Skoal for the win. Happy days, man. Oh, this is my board as well. Because I know what my settings are, I know I know what settings to put it at, basically. And if you look at that there, for example, see around the edge of the actual main oval, see all the tiny little fine particles. That's what you want, yeah. If you get it shaped like a figure of 8, then your tip's blocked. The horns usually get some shit in them or something. But you'll know that was just like a quick 1 second burst, pretty much. But you can see it's putting a decent amount on, and the edges are looking pretty fine. So if you do that, you'll get this. Brilliant. Chuffed to bits. So that's this week's video. Hope you liked it, and it's not all going to be painting, just to let you know. It's not going to be like 15 videos of me painting bloody Suzuki Bandits. There is some other stuff that we're going to do as well. We'll do the front and back ends. I got my spacers from Gary yesterday and a top yoke. Thank you very much, mate. And I'm waiting for a mudguard from the other good mucker Tony down in Cumbria. Thanks very much, mate. And we'll get that painted next week. I'm probably not going to bother videoing that. I mean, I think we've seen enough painting. And we'll go on to the front and back ends. I need to check the calipers are going to fit the forks with the new spacers. It looks like I might have marginally fucked up one of my measurements, but it's not beyond repair, should I say, because I should be able to shim it out. It looks like one of them slightly short, so I'll shim it out for the calipers to be central. I haven't checked them yet, but I'm just looking at it down the side of the forks, and it just looks like it's virtually nothing. I'll probably get away with it, you know. So that's good, and we'll get on to some more mechanical stuff in the next few videos. Front end on, back end on, we'll have a rolling chassis. I think I said that in the last video, we'll have a rolling chassis. We still haven't got a rolling chassis, but we will have one shortly. So stay tuned if you like this sort of crap that I fucking spuriously put out randomly. And we'll see you in the next one. Don't know what number that's going to be. 13 possibly. 14, 12. Who knows? Who cares?